20 plus years. At some point, we're married into crazy.
And that's what our podcast is all about. We offer love, laughter, and a dose of reality as we unpack this crazy thing called marriage.
So sit back, relax, and get your ear hustle on. It's time to start the conversation.
All right, let's go.
Welcome to episode 81 of the Married into Crazy podcast with Snooks and Lovey. I am Lovey.
I'm Snooks.
And why do you get so bothered when in the intro for like on the YouTube that I don't like say it verbatim the way that
you don't say the first part at all, and then you look at me like, say your part. I'm like, but you can't look at me and you don't do your part.
I always do my part. I am the husband.
Do your part.
I do my part. I do my 100%. It's not 50-50. It's all 100.
Okay.
What? No, husbands, we keep it 100, right? No. So,
no.
Hey, we want to welcome everybody back to the podcast. And strange times. Definitely strange times right now. There's a lot going on with coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
I am shut in.
I am not.
So I think we covered this before where I am apparently non-essential.
You get to work from home.
I do work from home. And then she is the most essential one in the house.
Because I go to work. Yeah, it's not so bad in the morning because I always get up first before everyone anyway. So it's not like, now if we were getting up at the same time previously before this, and you get to lay there and still be asleep, I'd probably have attitude. But because I get up first all the time, and you're still typically laying there or sleep or whatever, and the rest of the house is pretty quiet, it's not that bad. But about
still
9 o'clock, I'm at work and I'm like, ugh.
Angry. But I'm up.
They're asleep. Well, they're at home.
Well, by that time, though, I mean, I've been up.
Yeah.
I've worked out.
You say. I'm not here to witness.
Trust me, I have it on good authority that I worked out.
Okay.
And that I'm actually working. But you know what? Before you leave, we do say a prayer. I mean, we always...
we always do that. So, I mean, nothing really, like I said, none of the routine really has changed pretty much since you've been home. Except for, was it a couple of days last week you didn't make coffee?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, now...
It's a cardinal sin in our house if I didn't make the coffee.
Lovey's been on it. He's been making sure the coffee is made, so when I come downstairs, I have coffee.
But it's been kind of nuts, though. So, a couple of things. So, since I'm not going out in the field, per se, I am... I've created what I call the COVID follicle club, which means that I am not shaving or cutting my hair while I'm home. So, it's the CFC.
Follicle club?
Yep, the COVID follicle club. So, I think everybody out there should join me as well. Ladies, don't shave your legs. If you're stuck at home, men, you're probably mad at me for even saying that, but I think fellas should, if you're home, if you're shut in or, shelter in place, whatever you want to call it, I think fellas should not shave. Trim, definitely. Don't look crazy. Pluck those nose hairs, those ear hairs, do that grooming, but let the beard grow, let your hair grow, and let's see how we look by the end of this thing when we come out of the shelter in place.
Okay, but don't when you guys not shave, you get irritated and all that when you finally do shave?
Yeah, some, yeah.
So, okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, I think it'll be kind of cool. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. So if you see like videos as we're doing our Married Minute videos or different things, and you start to say, man, he's looking kind of grizzly. That's why. It's because of the CFC, the COVID Follicle Club.
Okay, that's a new one. All right.
Well, I try to keep it fresh. Try to do something different.
I'm not mad at you.
But it's funny because that's something I wanted to talk about today, is that with all these changes, there's so many couples that are back in the house now. I mean, meaning not everybody is essential like you. So some couples are both sheltered in place. So they're rediscovering each other. They're talking to each other, whereas when before it was only 4 hours a day they were talking to each other, now they're together 24/7. And I think that poses some challenges, especially for those individuals that need that away time where you go to work, you do your thing, you come back, and you happily greet each other, what have you, or unhappily, I don't know. But no, I'm just saying though. But now you're underneath the roof. Now it's like so routines are completely thrown off, and because the routines are thrown off, that means that creates a little bit of tension. I don't know if it's positive tension, but it is some tension. Kids are home, running just crazy. I have a friend who, one of my colleagues, her kids are home.
Your kids are home.
Her kids are home.
I said your kids are home.
Oh no, they're tied up. It looks like a hostage situation when they're here. So
it's hecka funny because they call me at work and they're like, "Oh my God, Mom, Dad is so annoying." I was like, "Don't say that first of all. What's happening, Mom? Dad comes in and he's telling me, asking me all these questions about when am I going to do this, when am I going to do that, or he's telling me this, blah 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 that." And all I could do is just laugh. I don't laugh out loud because I know they'd be, like, "Mom, it's not funny." But I'm sitting there and I'm laughing inside, and I'm like, well, Dad just wants to make sure that you all stay on your schedule, make sure you're doing all the things you're supposed to do. Mom, we have all day to. I was like, okay, first of all, you don't even get up in the morning. You get up, I'm sure, in the afternoon. So I don't want to hear about all day. And so yeah, it's kind of funny. They call me throughout the day to tell me what Lovey's doing, how he's being a tyrant.
That's right. I am home.
He's the COVID general.
I am Napoleon. Napoleon is home.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Not far from the truth.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it's funny because, listen, when it comes to, I know, look, in the very beginning, I was lost because I had a routine. My routine was I get up, okay, first off, you get up, then I wake up about usually somewhere between 4:30 and 5 o'clock, and then we say a prayer, then I generally get up, I work out, then I go and get dressed, whatever, make the bed, all this stuff, so I do all that stuff, and then I get out in the field. And my day's pretty much laid out. I mean, I've already kind of pre-done my work day where I know where I'm going. I know my routing. I know where I'm supposed to be on a particular day. Any given day on my calendar, I know where I'm supposed to be. I know what accounts I'm going to be seeing. I have a plan of attack. Now it's like, nope, you're home.
Well, can't you still, except for driving to those places, you still do your calls? Oops.
Well, half my accounts are closed.
Oh,
gotcha. I talked to two, some of the last ones that were open. I mean, today I talked to two of my accounts that I just thought were going to stay open forever. Informed me today, when we were upstairs, and one of them called me back.
One called you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she was calling me, hey, just to let you know, we changed our minds. We're shutting down tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, okay. And they still needed a couple of things, support-wise. So I'm calling our customer care.
Stuff if they're going to shut down
for the patients, because there's still some activities that patients can use, some resources, but they still wanted to make sure that the office had what they needed to make sure that at the very minimum, if there was an emergency, what have you, their patients could be still serviced. So first thing in the morning, I'll take care of that. But it was just one of those things where people are shutting down. And yes, you're right. There could still be a routine, and there is, but it took me a while to kind of get in the groove of being in my office. I am not an office cubicle.
A four walls kind of guy.
I am not a four walls kind of guy. The only four walls that I'm used to for the last 17 years have been my car.
Yeah.
And that's crazy that now I'm like, oh, remember I told you that's why I didn't take that marketing gig, or I stopped the process for going back to Chicago because it didn't make a whole lot of sense for me, because I'd probably be jumping out of a window or throwing somebody through one of the two.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not good.
At all.
No, it's not a good look, especially when you're trying to climb that corporate ladder.
Good luck.
Right? Oh, we were going to promote you, but
especially
remember that time you threw Jim out the window?
Especially when you have a family, a wife, some children. You can't be going to prison.
True that. I would come up with an excuse. No, Jim threatened me. That's why I threw him out.
Okay, you gonna lie on Jim? I'm
like, in Carol, she kept burning the coffee.
Oh my gosh.
No, it would have been something crazy. But that's why I had to get a routine. So I know that. So I have kind of a mentor. He's a colleague, or I call him a colleague, but he's not really a colleague. He's more of a friend. But one of the gentlemen, Terrell, in my accountability group, he's really big on setting up procedures, routines, making sure that you have a method to ensure your success. And so it's instilled in me that that's what I need to do. And these kids, they need a routine. They had a routine. I get up.
Well, they had a routine also. So Ashanti is more. She at least will follow. Try to stay on track some kind of way. I feel like, in regards to getting her homework done, she's still going to work. But the other one, Kiana,
Oh, she will sleep
She
till
just
5
throws
o'clock.
caution to
5
the
a.m.
wind. She's just like, school's out. This is so dumb. Why do we have to do it online? I don't want to do this.
Well,
It's like,
but a lot of couples are doing the
whatever.
exact same thing. So imagine if you were home and you and I were here together, then it was like, oh, what are you doing in my space? Oh, why are you bugging me? Oh, what? Leave me alone.
Lovey,
I think there's a lot of that goes on
I
between
know, but
couples. I know for a fact that it does.
For us, we would never do that. Because you love the office and I love the bedroom. I would take my laptop and I would go upstairs.
Okay, well, let's talk about those couples that
Okay.
can't. That for whatever reason they're
I'm
trying
just
to.
saying for us.
True. But for the individuals out there that are listening to us,
Mm-hmm.
those of you that are struggling, that are actually having difficulties, I was thinking this is an opportunity to get back to basics, right? To go all the way back, take it back, way back to when you first got started. Because I think this is a time of rediscovery. It's not so much, yes, there's a lot of craziness going on with the virus. Yes, it's very serious. Yes, there are orders to be, what is it, shuttered in or
Put shelter in place.
shelter in place. So there are a variety of things that are going on that are saying you have to stay in your house unless it's essential. But this is also an opportunity for rediscovering your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many things that are in the house that we put off. There's certain things that need to be cleaned. There's some clutter that needs to be gotten rid of. There's a variety of things, but I'm not just saying, I'm not saying you got to clean it now.
How is that rediscovering your relationship?
No, but
by
I'm
cleaning?
saying part of the cleaning process, the essentialism of it all, is knocking the cobwebs off your relationship.
Get out the clutter.
Knock the clutter out. Get rid of some of these distractions. The jobs. I mean, as essential as they are, it's a distraction.
Well, it's a distraction if you let it be, but I think that because the way that the United States or even the world is set up, everything is about capitalism. That almighty dollar. I got to get the dollar, got to get the dollar. And so when you're working, you know, we tell ourselves, oh, I'm working this hard and I'm doing all these things for my family. But you don't ever, not that you don't see your family, but you invest so much time in the stuff, the other stuff, and doing all the, when do you get to spend the quality time, or when do you get to benefit, does your family get to benefit from the of you being with you, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we never, I don't think we ever really think of our jobs, like you say, being a distraction, but they can be a distraction from the main thing as far as the two of us, obviously, or the two of you. Obviously, you do need to, you have to have, you need money to make things work, or, you know, buy certain things. But now it's like, okay, so now you can't go out. Now you can't go buy those things unless they're essential. So it's like almost, like Lovey said, getting back to basics, and not just the basics of the relationship, the beginning. Well, yeah, it is. It's like rediscovering why you fell in love in the first place.
Right.
Because you sat and you talked more when you first got together. You had conversations and you learned about each other's values, and you learned about the likes and the dislikes. And so all the time has passed, and though you know those likes and you know those dislikes, it's more that, not that you forgot them, but I think it's more or less things have been taken more probably for granted, because you're like, oh, well, he knows why I'm doing this. Oh, well, she understands. She knows, blah, 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 whatever.
I'm working. I'm putting food on the table.
Right.
Of course I love you.
That's one of the acts of service. So it's almost like, okay, so now rediscover. So your primary love language may be acts of service. And so now that maybe you can't go out and you can't go shopping, or you can't go do whatever, try to find a new act of service, a new love language that.
Or develop it.
Well, that's what. Well, yeah. That's
some people are saying, you know, there was a guy.
I know a guy.
No, there was a guy on social media in one of the groups that I belong to that was saying, hey, I'm having a difficult time being shut in. What are you guys doing to stay active? And a lot of people chimed in. And somebody said, you know, why don't you think about learning a new language? Mm-hmm. And
yeah, you have the time.
Well, and I was just going to say, for couples, that could be the love language. Why not? How proficient are you in your partner's love language? Mm-hmm. So your love language is acts of service. That it is. It is. Because here's the deal. So what you like to do, so when you're showing your love, the way you show your love is you'll clean the kitchen. You want to make everything nice and neat. Oh, I'm going to do this. Or you want to do something for somebody. Oh, I did this for you. And it's like, oh, look, I prepared this meal and I was thinking about this. And for the girls, oh, I did this. Or you do their hair. Everything you do, your love language has always been, the crux of it has always been acts of service because you're always doing for others. And like, you'll go upstairs and you'll like clean the entire bedroom and fold the clothes and put them away. And then you're cheesing ear to ear and you're like, did you notice anything? And then the jerk that I am, I come in and I'm like, no.
Kick your shoes
I'm
off.
like, you open the blinds?
So your pants on the floor? No.
No, and you're like, I cleaned all this stuff. So in our entire relationship, it's always been acts of service. And mine has been more intimacy, where it's not even true intimacy as far as like not like sex, but it's been like just being in the proximity of each other. You know, so like I like it when we're sitting on the couch. I just want you to come sit down next to me if we're gonna watch a show or whatever. And you're like, but I need to clean. And then
until I start asking you questions.
And then you gotta go. And he's like, I'm sorry, bye, go, leave. Well, I learned my lesson. I don't ask you to come sit down with me in the middle of a series.
I'm like, what?
If it's a movie,
yeah,
absolutely.
Right.
Middle of a series, no, because you're like, okay, wait, hold on, pause it. So who is she and what is she to him and why is that other person over there?
Lovey doesn't even do that. Lovey's so cool. He'll be sitting on the couch and I'll come in the room and if I stop and I pause and look at the TV, he will pause the TV and look at me. And I'm like, are you serious right now? He's like, because look, I don't want you asking me questions. I'm not going to go over it. I'm going to go revamp. I was like, that is mean. He's like, babe, you know how you are.
You will ask, like, I've tried to get you to watch shows with me in the very beginning, like in season 1, season 2, season 3. Oh, here's a perfect example. I know we're off topic right now, but here's a perfect example. Remember, we're going to come back to love languages.
Okay.
Watching Orange is the New Black. I'm like 3 seasons in, you know, Tasty's doing something or whatever.
I asked one question.
Oh, this happened on more than one occasion. She'll walk through, like, she'll go in the kitchen, grab something. Then she'll be like, wasn't she? Like, so who is she? What's she in prison for?
No.
What did she do? Oh,
no,
yes, you did.
No.
I'm like, no. You don't get to ask those questions because you
would,
haven't watched the first 2 seasons.
It would be something like climactic happening. And then I happen to be walking through and I'll stop and I'll watch and I'm like, oh. And I'll look at him and be like, don't do it. And I'm like, love, just tell me. I said, okay, so what happened to blah, 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 whatever. And he's like,
That's right.
So if you all are home, don't do that to your wife.
Right. So let's get back to love languages. So Gary Chapman's book, 5 Love Languages, and there's several different ones now. There's like 5 love languages for the wife, 5 love languages for the husband, 5 love languages of your children. But look up Gary Chapman on Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble. Go to the library if it's still open, if they have hours, but whatever. Actually, don't go to the library and don't say, Snooks and Lovey told me to go to the library and you get in trouble because it was not essential. Look it up or get the audiobook. But you go there and there's these 5 distinct love languages. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head.
No.
But you go there and you take a look at it. That's something that you can do. You can actually start to learn each other's love language and try to become more proficient. Mm-hmm. You're chomping at the bit to say something. What you going to say?
No, I just thought about the Love Dare.
Oh, the Love Dare is a great book to actually, we should do that.
Well, especially like you're shut in right now. Well, for those people who are sheltered in place or they're at home with their spouse, the Love Dare is a great book, and it's about you. How do you say it? Daring to show all your love, or how's it go?
Right. It's every day's a dare. It's like you read the book together for one, and as you're reading the book, there's these action items, these things that you should do, and I can't remember how many days it goes on.
I feel like it's 30, but I don't remember.
I thought it was longer than that, but it could be 30 days. But and I can't remember the name of the author for whatever reason. But there's a book called The Love Dare.
I will look at it.
Definitely invest in that. There's these opportunities for you to reconnect and get back to basics. The theme of all of this is getting back to basics. Rediscovering each other, rediscovering your love, getting back to that curiosity, if you will, for each other.
And letting go of like taking it for granted, taking advantage of, because life happens, and within life, it's just almost like secondary to just be like, oh, it's all right.
It's like you're in a rut because you're doing the same thing over
exactly,
and over and over again. And that rut that some of us have mistakenly began to call life is actually death. It's death for a relationship where we start to take things for granted, and instead of living, what?
I'm listening to
Oh, you give me a look like, I thought I was telling. But it's no, instead of living your relationship, loving your relationship, breathing life into your relationship, it's slowly strangling the relationship. And we're all guilty of it. So we're not pointing the fingers at anybody because we do it as much as anybody else, where it's like she's caught up with her job and the drama that's going on in her place of work. And then with me, different things happening within the corporation or my accounts or all these different things that are happening. And you let that consume you and take over to the point where you're no longer living for each other. You're just existing.
Right. And so in many ways, I think it's a good thing. As far as it's not a good thing that if you're not working, if you need to, I mean, you have to, especially if you're in a situation where if your job is not paying you, that's not a good thing. But as far as the relationship piece goes, it's a good thing how you can get back to letting go of the distractions. Because like Lovey just said, there are times when I come home from work and I'm just like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah happened. Or he comes home and he's saying the same thing. So you're cutting out all that out. You're throwing all that away. And so what's left is you and your spouse. And so here's where the reconnection comes, because now you're not going to talk about what happened at your job. Right. You're not going to talk about how that person made you mad or whatever. You're going to focus on, hopefully you'll take this opportunity to focus on each other. How can I be of service to you? What do you want to do today? Oh, well, let's do blah, 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 whatever. Or you can sit over a cup of coffee, take, maybe not read a newspaper, whatever it is, but have coffee or have some breakfast, or just kind of just sit and just talk about rediscovering those dreams that you had, or just sitting down and remaking some goals, or, updating your goal list or your vision board or whatever it is, and really take this opportunity to plan for the future,
Right. Well,
get back on track. Sorry.
I agree. No, we are a glass half full couple, and we want you to be the same. So, yes, this is a trying time. There's some real danger that's out there regarding COVID-19. But here's the deal. On the other side of that, every coin has two sides. That's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is that you have now been blessed with the ultimate staycation.
I was thinking that too, staycation.
You are able to now sit at home, do the things. There's some yard work. I got to some yard work this weekend that I haven't been able to touch in a very, very long time. My neighbors are overjoyed.
Okay, it wasn't looking that bad outside.
It was looking that bad.
No,
it was horrible.
It was not.
She doesn't pay attention to the outside.
I do pay attention to the outside.
You don't like the inside. Anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Look, my neighbor Jim's talking to me again. I went outside today to get the garbage cans. Hey, Ernie, how you doing? Hey, hadn't seen you in a while. Hey, the yard's looking great, man.
That's so funny.
I haven't seen you. Volleyball slowed down. I mean, seriously. He was like, volleyball must have slowed down, so I get to see you again. I'm like, well, got no choice. But he did mention, like, your yard's looking good.
That's funny.
So, but it is the ultimate staycation. There's that. That's the other side of the coin. Being able to reinvest in your relationship. Not just with your spouse, but with your kids as well. Now, the kids may not be too happy about you being able to be there with them at all times. Maybe they are. But you're also able to do some other things. Think about what this is doing for the world. With a lot of the cars being off the road because you're not commuting, the waterways are clearing up a little bit more. The air quality is getting better. There's a variety of things that are transpiring where the earth is getting an opportunity to heal when it's all said and done. Yes, it's at the hands of our economy, because the economy is flailing, but you can't have everything. And this will reset itself, and we're hoping that we're learning some valuable lessons in this process. But again, getting back to basics, why not take this opportunity to reinvest in your relationship?
Rediscover that, and not saying that, oh, you've just been so out of love or anything like that, but just really rediscovering what brought you to, what got you through these however many years you've been together. How did it start? What were you doing? And sometimes, when you look back on things, I laugh at some of this. I'm like, oh my God, remember when we did blah, 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 whatever. Stuff that's from the beginning. And you're like, oh yeah. It's like it gives you another type of appreciation for each other. Because I remember some of the sacrifices that we made, or, I made for you or you made for me. And just reinventing, reconnecting, and building stronger for
Right.
when the world would, take the opportunity, because it's not like the outside world is going to stay gone forever,
Right. We're going to be, trust me, soon enough, we will all be back at work.
Right. So,
But here's the opportunity to build onto your house. If your love
Mhm.
is a house, they say a house is a home is a house, whatever. But if your love is a house, this is your chance to build that addition to your house. And by addition, I'm not talking about kids. I have no idea how many babies are going to pop up. It's going to be the next baby boomer
okay.
on this. And look, let me just put this out there for the record.
That's
I better not see no children named Coronina or
oh my goodness.
Corona or any variation on COVID whatsoever. So,
On Corona, it could be just Rana.
like you, yeah, Rana.
saying,
Yeah. Anyway. But I'm just saying, there probably will be a daughter named Rona.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? That's one of the things that people call me, and I hate it.
But there are people named Rona. I have a friend.
I know, but my name is not Rona, it's Rana.
I hear you.
I'm just saying.
So what do you got on the Love Dare? Did you ever find out what the name of the author was?
So the Love Dare is a nonfiction marriage-related book written by Alex and Stephen Kendrick. It's a 40-day Christian devotional designed to strengthen marriages.
There you go.
Yeah,
40 days.
so, and even when you go back to work, if you're not off for 40 days, this would be something that you start, and maybe you'll get to where you're like, hey, let's make sure that we finish that.
Wasn't this affiliated with that movie?
Fireproof.
Yeah, I would say it was affiliated with Fireproof.
Yeah.
If you saw Fireproof, it's somehow, I haven't seen Fireproof. So it's affiliated with that in some way, shape, or form. That's something we need to watch. We said we're going to watch Fireproof.
Oh, somebody took our other movie.
What was the other one?
Oh,
The War Room.
The War Room, yeah.
Yeah, so we said we're going to watch War Room and Fireproof.
Whoever came over to our home and took our movie, I want it back.
We probably let somebody borrow it.
I didn't.
We do that. We let people borrow stuff and then forget who we gave it to.
I didn't
and
let
never
him
get it
borrow
back.
it.
But that's the other thing. There might be some movies, some things that you want to actually watch together and sit down and rediscover family time, board games, family time.
Yeah. And
I already told the family that we are having. We used to have like once a week family game night, and I want to get back to that. Everybody's so busy now. Well, now that everybody's not so busy, that's a chance to kind of rediscover. What about sitting around the kitchen table again and having dinner?
Or what about having a picnic out inside, an inside picnic, not outside?
Remember when you don't want to go outside?
Don't go outside, no.
Remember we did that when we first got the house over on Trimmer?
Oh my gosh, yeah. When we first moved to our second house, our house before this one, we took the kids over. I was pregnant with Kiana, and we took the kids over, and the first time they saw the house, and we had like a little picnic in the living room on the floor.
Yeah,
it was so cool.
No furniture, completely bare, but we just got the keys, so we took the kids over there and had like a little camp out or picnic, if you will, and it was awesome. I
think that too, even though they're big, they're adults now, pretty much. Well, they're not adults, but they're older and stuff. They still talk about those things that we did when we were younger. When they were younger, we used to run around the house and we had pillow fights and the boys against the girls and stuff like that. I mean, that's stuff that you could do with your kids, just because your kids are going to be like, I remember the time I didn't get to go to school and I didn't get to see my friends.
Ooh.
But my parents, I have fun with my mom, I have fun with my dad, or
it's not essential, but
this.
You know what I'm going to do now?
What?
I've been talking about it for 2 years and I haven't done it.
Eat ice cream?
The Nerf guns.
Oh, yeah. I almost bought some for Christmas.
I almost did too. So we need to just follow through on that. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go get Nerf guns and we're going to shoot up the house.
Okay, well, you guys can do that while I'm working. Just make sure you get all the Nerf guns up by the time I get home.
Oh, you're going to get ambushed.
Oh my gosh, I wish you would.
Oh, see? I got it on tape now.
Yeah, you heard that.
And my job is to grant your wish.
You heard the tone of I wish you would.
So anyway, so there's a lot of ideas. So there's some stuff there to get back to basics. There's learn your spouse's love language. You know, read the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman.
Mm-hmm.
There's The Love Dare by Stephen Kendrick. And who's the other person? Alex and Stephen Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so there's 2 books that are right there that help you get back to basics, do something together as a couple. But then reinstituting some of these other traditions, family game night, making sure that you actually follow through on that. Getting back to the kitchen table when it comes to dinner or a meal. It doesn't have to be dinner, but if you can get together for a meal, because I know in our house we used to do that. That was a major part of our day. But as everybody got older, busier, everybody's going in different directions.
Yeah, everyone started pretty much eating at different times because you would be at practice, and when you're not at practice, Shanti's at practice or she's at work, and I'm in the office doing schoolwork, and so it got a little bit kind of crazy.
Distractions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Distractions. All these things that we said were so important in our lives. It's funny. It's like the things we said were important took us away from what was truly important. Mm-hmm. And here's an opportunity for that reset.
That's right.
So that's the challenge that we're giving out to everybody this week is to get back to basics, reset your lives,
rediscover each other.
Rediscover each other.
Mm-hmm.
Your couple-wise, family-wise. Mm-hmm. Get back and let us know how it goes. Go ahead and reach out to us at snooksandlovey@gmail.com or coaching@marriedintocrazy.com. Reach out via our Facebook, which all of our social media is at Married Into Crazy, either by Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Those 3 are the main ones. So please reach out to us. Let us know how things are going. Let us know if you've picked up the book, any of the books that we talked about, and we'll come up with more recommendations as well.
And also, if you have some ideas for us that maybe we can institute in our house, share those also. That would be great.
Oh, absolutely. And I'd be very curious. So now is the season of COVID, right? So the season of COVID.
Obviously, Lovey likes to say that. So go ahead.
So what's going on in your house? Are there challenges that we haven't thought of that you might be facing? You're like, oh my God. Well, now that we're home, A, B, and C, this is what's going on. What are you guys doing to combat that? What is that? Something that we haven't brought up. We'd love to hear how you are overcoming the the challenges of everybody being underneath the same roof again. So let me know. How are you guys doing those? If you have younger kids, are you doing the FaceTime play dates and your kids are running all over the house with an iPad because the other kid is doing the same thing and it's driving you nuts? I mean, let me know. I'd be very curious to hear what's going on out there. So don't be shy. Definitely reach out. We encourage you.
Yes.
So
and
in the meantime,
now it's time for 2 for the road.
Well, seeing as how you can't get on the road.
Oh, except for me.
It's 2 for captivity.
2 for captivity.
2 for captivity.
Okay, well, 2.
All right, so of course we're pulling from the I Can Can.
1 for the road because I'm on the road.
Hey, it's a great opportunity since you're going to be shut in. And you're like, oh, I didn't want to get on I Can Can because we're always so busy. Go to the website, marriedintocrazy.com, go to the shopping page, go ahead and get yourself an I Can Can. So that way you guys can work on these little affirmations, little things that you can do to kind of get back to basics again. And these are little suggestions. What does yours say?
I can make a homemade card just because.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Awesome,
I'm looking forward to that one. Okay.
Make it for you. No.
Aw, mine says, I can gaze at my partner and just smile. I'm done. Why didn't you throw it back in there or send them off to the side? Because you want me to grab that one.
Yeah.
Leave it in there. Leave it in
all
there.
Day.
So there's 40 different affirmations in each one of the I Can Cans. And so it'll give you a good opportunity. You can either throw them back in, shake it up. It's okay to do them over and over again. Anyway, it's been our pleasure. Hopefully you got something out of this, some ideas. I really hope you're going to take our advice to heart and really try and learn each other's love language, rediscover your relationship, reconnect, and grow. Breathe life into the relationship and truly get an idea of what the real distraction is. It's not the relationship. It's everything else outside of those 4 walls. So, until the next time, be blessed.
Bye-bye.